Well, another day, another video. Good morning, everybody. So today's episode actually covers two things. One is a subject that actually have always been kind of interest and importance to me, and the other is just a fairly obvious but common moral and just piece of advice that people tend to forget. But before we get into that, we'll start with the overarching question that this episode brings up. This episode deals with Thorax's brother, who just does not want to change. Changeling that won't change. Not the way he doesn't want to change, though. He doesn't like the new hive. He sees it as weaker and as a basically former head of the guard. That's a pretty large problem for him. And this episode deals with the single most important question in history. Why? The why of a thing is always the most important thing. The reason being is the why we do a thing can completely change the way that thing is viewed. The most extreme case, if for some reason you kill a person, the why you killed them will mean the difference between life sentence and being acquitted. If you kill them in self-defense because they're trying to kill you, you don't typically get put in prison for that. Any other reason, you go to jail. But, the why people do the things they do, the people's motivations, what drives them to do this, what drives them to do that. You basically have entire professions based on that. And you've got psychology and even, most criminal justice jobs, because you got to figure out why the person did whatever it is they're accused of doing, not just if they did it. But in this case, the why isn't known to our pony heroes, namely Starlight Glimmer and Trixie. And it causes some pretty big problems because all they see is what he's doing and not why he's doing it. And so in typical pony fashion, when they're voicing each other's concerns to him, things go wrong. And it's actually kind of nice to see characters actually get in trouble for not watching their mouths. And this is where we come into the second thing that this episode covers, that is the basic moral. You should always watch what you say, because you never know who's listening. And the things you say they'll hurt people sometimes, or they can lift them up depending on what it is you're saying. Technically I'm a bit of an older girl. Okay, yeah, I'm not that old. I'm 35. But, when I was a kid, we were taught if you don't have something nice to say, don't say it at all. Yeah, we say it in therapy. No, I'm sorry. I'm probably not really a laughing matter. Um, but, Thorax's brother overhears them voicing their concerns to each other, trying to figure out, you know, what's best for Thorax and best for the hive, and he leaves, which doesn't last long, fortunately. Because the why that they miss is the fact that he really does love his home and he loves his people. He is a guardian archetype, but he is, you know, not really feeling like he's allowed to protect at the time. So it's definitely a good story. It makes one think, and I'll be honest, I was a little worried about whether or not I should be able to, whether or not I should be making this video, because, well, frankly, as an autistic person, my views on human behavior aren't always popular because, well, sometimes because of the why. I don't see why people behave they do, and like Starlight and Trixie, that can get me in trouble sometimes, or a lot of times. Of course, by the same token, people don't always understand the why of why I do things, and I can't always articulate the why, and so I still get in trouble. But that's life, I guess. I digress. Or do I? I think I covered everything. For those who haven't actually watched the episode, sorry about the spoilers. It's kind of difficult to try and just, it's a little hard to make these videos spoiler free and talk about them at the same time. And, unlike some of the more well-known and, well, frankly, better YouTubers out there, they take their time, they gather their thoughts, they write a script, and I'll be honest, if I did that, I would probably never get this thing made at all. Because it's just not a way that I can try and communicate, planning out everything I'm going to say in advance. I kind of just got to let everything spill out of my head. Mainly because, thoughts constantly shifting, and so the way I'm thinking and feeling at one moment won't be the same even 5, 10, 15 minutes later. Case in point, about 15 minutes ago, I wasn't sure I should even be making this video. Now I am rambling, so I will let you get on with your day. Goodbye, everybody.